More top stories now. Two cars becoming trapped in a sinkhole after a stretch of road collapsed near 67th and Pacific. Take a look at this if you haven't seen it. Pacific appears to be fully closed still east of 67th. Authorities are warning drivers to just avoid this area.
Notorious Omaha spree killer Nikko Jenkins wants the state to reconsider his request for a hearing to decide if he was competent to stand trial. His defense team argues Jenkins has never been mentally fit since the murders of 4 people in 2013.
Well, a man who pled no contest in a deadly shooting has been sentenced to 29 years behind bars. Under Nebraska's good time law, Darnell Jones could get out after about 15.
Nebraska lawmakers reacting to President Trump's State of the Union address. Representative Don Bacon says he liked the president's focus on the economy. Democrats, meanwhile, called the address, quote, unhinged and divisive.
Omaha city officials say they are going over requests from the newly formed Streetcar Impact Alliance. The alliance is asking the city for financial support, property tax relief, and a validated parking program.
Well, Creighton and Nebraska men's basketball both hit the hardwood tonight. The Jays host DePaul at 8 p.m. The Huskers host Maryland at 6.